Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Average Barista. I am James from Rumour Mill Espresso. Today what we're going to be doing for this special lockdown edition is how to adjust the grind. I hope you're doing okay guys, even though the whole hospitality industry is in the absolute toilet right now because of coronavirus. A lot of people are out of work, but if this ever becomes relevant again, then hopefully we can use it. Guys, so the objective of being able to change the grind is it means that we're going to get all of our extractions to be a really nice even consistency and get them in the ideal extraction window for the roast profile of that coffee as well. So we're going to go through a quick recap of your grinder as well. Hopper, gate, or adjusting pin. This is our collar. So this is how we make the grind finer or coarser. We have our chamber with sight glass, the grinder tamp, and our on-off switch. This will also relate back to our last tutorial on how to dose, so if you haven't watched that tutorial, go back, have a look at that one, and then come back and check this one out. Cool, so for our home setup today, what we are rocking is the semi-automatic Mazza major grinder. So we've got our standard sort of lever grinder here as per usual. We're going to do a tutorial on electric grinders in the next couple of episodes. We also have our beautiful little workhorse, our little Wager Atlas 2-group machine. This is what we use for all of our events, festivals, private catering events. The extraction on them is really consistent, really even, and they can sit in the back of your car and get knocked around and not break. Cool, alright, let's do it. To find out how our coffee is pouring for the day, what we're going to do is we're going to dose out some coffee, 1, 2, 3 clicks, and we're going to time an extraction and see how it's pouring. So remember from our first episode guys how to dose, we're going to pull the grip handle out, do a flush, take out that dirty coffee grind, dry tea towel, wipe it out every single time, quick click, little tamp with the grinder, third click, and then we do our hand tamp, okay? Our first shot that came through poured a little bit long, so it poured at 35 seconds. Our extraction window for Genovese is 25 to 30 seconds, okay? So in that extraction window, guys, that's when you will get your the flavors that it's roasted to, basically. So if you're using Genovese coffee, your flavor profile is chocolate and caramel with hints of nuts, okay? So if you get that extraction in that 25 to 30 second window, that's how the coffee is roasted, and you've actually hit that recipe on how to extract it as well. So that would be a good extraction, okay? Ours ran a little bit over that, it ran at 35 seconds. Okay, so what happens there, when it hits that over 35 second mark, you've actually got an over extracted coffee. That coffee will taste bitter and burnt, okay? If it went the other way and your extraction poured really, really fast, what you would have is an under extracted coffee. Okay, so in that under extracted coffee, it will pour fast, so it'll pour it like less than 20 seconds, it'll be absolute, it would taste really weak and it will taste sour as well, okay? Sourness, you get a bit more acidity to it. That would be for a coffee that isn't supposed to have an acidic flavour profile. We can adjust the consistency of the grind and make that coffee pour faster or slower. So if our coffee is currently pouring at 35 seconds for an extraction, we need to get it back down into that 25 to 30 second time frame to make sure that it's going to be the best quality. So on our grinder over here, we can either make that consistency of the grind coarser or finer, okay? If we make it coarser, it's going to speed that grind up and it's going to make it pour a little bit quicker, okay? If we make it finer, it's going to slow it down and make that extraction longer, okay? So if our shot's pouring at 35 seconds, we're actually going to make it a little bit coarser, a little bit quicker. So how do we actually adjust our coffee, guys? So on our grinder, we've got our collar here and we can move it coarser or finer. If I move it by 1 notch in a direction, we actually get a 7 to 10 second yield in extraction time. So if my shots are pouring at 35 seconds and I move it 1 notch coarser, it's going to bring it down roughly to 28 to 25 seconds, somewhere in that time frame. This will also depend on the size of your grinder and how fresh your blades are as well, what that yield is. So that's that little black part that we're talking about, and it's lined up with the silver extrusion above it. When you grab your lever, you're going to push it in the direction of the arrow. Coarser, we're going to push it clockwise. Finer, we're going to push it anti-clockwise, okay? And each of those notches is worth roughly 7 to 10 seconds. Cool, so there's 3 ways all up that we can tell that we've got a good extraction, guys. So number 1, always the most accurate way, is timing. So our extraction window for this coffee is 25 to 30 seconds, okay? In that extraction window, it would be a good extraction, and that's where you get all those delicious flavors. So for Genovese, you get chocolate and caramel with hints of nuts, okay? Time your shots. If you don't have timers built into your machine, that's fine. Just, you know, time every 10 or so shots and just make sure they're pouring that nice even consistency. Okay, so number 1 way to tell that you've got a good shot is to time it. Number 2 is going to be the drop. Okay, so what we're talking about, the drop, is how it actually pours out of that spout, right? So I'll show you a good example here. So this is a good extraction. So you can see as soon as it pops out, it's in a thin, slow, consistent stream. Okay, perfect analogy is you want it to look like honey being squeezed out of a bottle. Third way that we can tell that we've got a good extraction is the colour of it. Okay, so you've got that beautiful crema on top, which is all the gases that come out of that coffee, and the colour that we're looking for is a really nice caramel sort of colour. And just so you know, guys, these 3 indicators to tell that you've got a good coffee are true for this coffee and will be indicators for every coffee, but the same rules might apply to different roasts, okay? Different companies, different brands will have different extraction times, different methods of how that drop should look as to how that coffee should be extracted.
What we do here is go
cool. So if your coffee is an under-extracted coffee and it pours at less than 20 seconds, okay? So number way to tell that it's under-extracted, 1 is the timing, okay? If it pours at less than 20 seconds, it's going to be rubbish, okay? Tip it out. You've got a bit of a leeway between that 20-25 second mark there. It's up to you what you want to do with that shot, you know? If it's for a staff member, use it. If it's for a VIP customer, maybe don't use it. Cool, so the other way to tell you've got an under-extracted coffee, third way, is the colour. So instead of that nice caramel sort of colour, we get a really light golden extract. It just won't have that full flavour that it should, basically. Cool. If we go the other end of the spectrum then, and we go to an over-extracted coffee, right? So 3 indicators for an over-extracted coffee. 1, timing. So that timing would be over the 35 second mark, okay? Once it hits that 35 second mark, it's going to start tasting bitter and burnt. Up to you what you do with that shot between the 30 and 35 second mark. So maybe if it pours at 31 or 32 seconds, I'd probably use it. If it pours at 33 or 34 seconds, tip it out, start again, okay? Not bad, guys, just a little bit slow on that one, so it's just a little bit dark, just a little bit. So whenever we make coffee, guys, one thing to remember is there is a recipe for the perfect espresso every single time, okay? So that's why we adjust the grind, and that's why it's a constant variable basically. So you have two variables whenever you make coffee, one being the dose, the second one being the consistency of the grind, okay? One thing to point out is that if your grind is running really quickly or coarsely, it will look the same as if you have an underdosed extraction. Same deal as if your grind is pouring really, really finely or slowly, it would look the same as if you had too much coffee in that basket. Okay, so it's up to you to decipher whether you had the right dose in there or not, if it was correct, underdosed or overdosed. If it was good, then it means it's going to be your grind, okay? Awesome, thanks so much for watching today, guys. If you liked it and you enjoyed our content, then please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we will see you back in another 2 weeks. See you next time.